In this video we are at Gilk's Cafe for Berlingos, many Berlingos, and one slightly soggy Bob. See related vlog on the Hubnut for why Bob is quite so soggy, but you can probably guess. The weather is far from brilliant, but yeah, we've got a lovely mix of Berlingos, Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3 and the odd Skoda, and Bella is around here at the back. We just had an absolutely delicious breakfast inside. Peugeot Partners also welcome here. Nice quick silver, but yeah, they're all crammed in up at the back. So this is where you find most of the Mark 1s. Here's Bella. Bella has somehow lost an indicator cover on the way here. That fell off somewhere on a motorway. That's slightly upsetting, just when we're trying to get everything looking nice. Yeah, lovely mix. We've got the vinyl roofs, modu tops. It's all going on. And this is all to celebrate 25 years of the Berlingo Multispace, hence my t-shirt, multi-ace in fact. These are available at the Hubnut store. But yeah, a lovely mix of cars, all sorts of styles. I quite like these with the extra chunky grey bits on the bumper. Although my preference is always going to be for the earlier front end, which I think now has some delightful retro touches. We're full of camping gear because of course we have been camping in Bob, but yeah, look at the mix. We've got modified ones as well, nice lower banded steels, bit of stretch going on, camper conversions. Ahoy! It's my friend David's car. This has been off the road for years. Recently had rear axle, timing belt, all the same stuff we've had on ours. This one belongs to Jono at Peak 2CV. Unfortunately Jono can't drive very well, but he'll learn one day and that's good. So there you go, Peak 2CV. Another load Berlingo. This was at the campsite with us last night. So yeah, it's just a really nice mix of cars and a good celebration of the ordinary. And if that's not what Hubnut is about, then yeah, I don't know what is. We have got a lovely DS, or I think it might be an ID actually, but that's floated in here as a sort of honorary friend of the Berlingo, which I think is quite nice. But yeah, the retro appeal of the earlier front end can't be overstated, I don't think. I will be taking this car to the NEC. We currently have a competition running for tickets. You have to be very quick though. Yeah, check my community tab here on YouTube for details of that. But yeah, it's just really nice to see people celebrating these cars. This one's obviously got a nice collection of stickers on it. Steph's iDriver Classic, you might recognize that one. And because French, of course, people have put information on here. So this is Bertie, the Berlingo, the Multispace Forte HDI, and yeah, it's good to see people love these cars. People have such adventures in these cars. So each of these cars has a different story to tell. Each one has slightly modified styling. I fully understand why you would fit extra lamps to your Berlingo, because the standard headlights on these early M49s are absolutely terrible. But yeah, isn't this lovely to see? I have no idea what this thing is over here. Is that a Janetta? Wells, apparently it's a Wells. Interesting. The windscreen looks very Lotus Elise. A little restricted drop down window. There we go. I've never heard of that before. A Wells. But you probably want to nose around the Acadiane. So the Acadiane was the last of the A series vans. A long line stretching back to the earliest Ripley 2CVs, and Acadianes built in Spain. Had such novelty features as winding front windows. This is a very, very nice example, and of course fits in heritage, because after the Berlingo there came the C15. If only we had one of those to park there. And after the C15 came Berlingo, so there is family heritage here with these lovely vans. Slightly longer chassis than the 2CV and Diane, but yeah, lovely vans indeed. Yeah, our first visit to Gilk's Garage Cafe. Lots of people have had meets here. Steph of iDriver Classic, Matt of Furious Driving have both been here fairly recently. Do like those wheel trims, don't they? Look nice. Ever seen under the bonnet of a DS? You should have done, because I've done a video on one. There we go. Engine sits really far back, pretty much under the windscreen, gearbox in front. So Kitch, if you're watching, this is what the engine bay should look like. So don't tell anyone, but this Berlingo is a Peugeot partner, but we don't mind. We welcome everything here. And this has got a Campbell conversion in it. So it's actually got room, it's got sitting room, little table. These are a different company's little side boxes. But yeah, I'm really liking this. Thinking of those solo trips away where I obviously don't want to take Bob the camper. Maybe something like this, which, you know, it all folds into the boot area when you're not using it, could work really well. Because in the Berlingo, certainly in the Mark 1s, the front seats still tip forward, so you get enough length to have an actual full-size bed. But I quite like this bit on the side where you've got this in this sort of recliner position, so it's nice to have somewhere to just relax and chill out a bit more. So, you know, I could have my editing area, but then you've got your relaxing area, because you don't want to be lying down, you don't really want to be sitting bolt upright all the time. But yeah, very interesting. I'll put the little curtains as well. Yeah, really nice bit of kit. Right, let's go and have a look at one of my favourite cars here. I think Miss Hubnut is busy chatting with people because campers. But yeah, this beauty over here, it's a former Citroen UK press car. After it did a stint with that, it went to Autocar magazine, where they used it as a long-term vehicle. And a certain Steve Cropley, just hugely regarded by so many of us for his writing work in magazines over the years. He owned this for 19 years. Only put about 80,000 miles on it. So he liked it so much after that Autocar long-term test, but he simply kept it. He asked to buy it and he kept it. Absolutely loved it. The current owner, James Walshe of Practical Classics, has done a few modifications to it. These black bumper corners, it's actually a front bumper off a Peugeot Partner Escapade, which had a bit more black stuff to it, and James just likes that look, so that's why he's modified it to his tastes. The French ones tend to look like this. They're much more vans with seats and windows than our poshed up versions. You see all the body colour stuff on the Mark 2s, so he's kind of kept it all nice and Mark 1ish, and yeah, I really like the look of it. It's called Mr. Cropley after Steve Cropley, who owned it for so many years. And fittingly, here is a Peugeot Partner Escapade. So from the factory, they came with chunkier side mouldings, a bit of trim around here, lamp guards even. I'm just going to drop my bag off so I don't clatter into the cars. Light guards at the back as well. And look at this one. Look at that for a conversion. That is really funky. Checkerboard floor. It's like a little American diner. So yeah, really nice. It's so much individualism going on. So this one's got the Escapade rear lamp protectors on it, and it looks quite funky. Nice side stripes as well. And yeah, a Berlingo club. I think this must be a fairly early one. What I was really hoping to see was the early 3-door Berlingos. I haven't seen any of those yet. But what we've got over there in the corner, it's another 02 next to a Traction Avant. So let's go and have a look. So here's another 2002 Berlingo, just like ours, same interior. It's still got the green gear knob. Ooh, that's nice. So exactly the same interior as ours as well. Bit of French lack appeal. It's got a what?
I've heard that it's got over 100,000 miles on the clock.
Oh wow, it's not looking bad for that at all. So another non-Berlingo is this Citroen Traction Avant, which is an absolute beauty. Hides a few tweaks as well. It's an early post-war car. I thought it was pre-war, but some of the post-war ones did retain wipers at the top of the screen. Apparently the bonnet louvers give this away. So in 1948, quite rare. It's still quite like the pre-war cars, but has a few changes. This one has a few changes still, because it's actually got a DS engine and an ID 4-speed manual gearbox. So that gets around some of the frailty issues of the original 3-speed, makes it much better for cruising. This car goes over to France quite often as well. It's still got the lever flopping out of the dashboard, just like they originally did. So much rear leg room. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful cars. And here's a car I actively dislike. Sorry, Colin, the owner, who I've known for many years. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to change my views of the world. It is a Citroen C3 Pluriel. It was designed to have some definitely 2CV retro vibes with a curvy roof. Originally a concept car, but they did put into production. But yeah, I've never been a huge fan, because these sidebars, if you take them off, you have to leave them at home, and then you can't put the roof back up if it rains. Although you can just fold the roof back and leave it like that and leave the rails in place. But mostly I think I was angry because a lot of people said this is the new 2CV. And it just isn't. It's nowhere near as practical. Look how close the head restraints are to the rear window. That's just not good in a modern car. So I didn't like them at all, but maybe I was wrong. This one's got the automated manual gearbox. That's another thing people don't like about them, but this one appears to work quite merrily. And I must just give a quick shout out. If you like your Citroens or want to know more, go to catcitroen.com. You'll find one of these stickers on Giselle, my GSA. It was run by a chap called Jerome Katz. He was a lovely bloke, put so much information up there. Sadly died in a road traffic accident, yeah, a great loss to us all. But some friends of mine have worked tirelessly to keep that website alive, and it still is a wonderful place. But yeah, what a lovely day. The weather's improving, it's getting better all the time. Really nice mix of cars. It's been great to see so many of them here. Now, one thing you'll hear me bang on a lot about is the triangle of doom, and this one with its wipers erect is demonstrating the problem very well. This is the triangle of doom where the passenger wiper arc does not meet the driver's arc. It is a problem on the Berlingos. It upsets me greatly, but there we are. So yeah, a huge wide range of engines fitted to these vehicles. This one's 1.4. Did a 1.9 diesel, did 1.6 HDI, 2 litre HDI like ours, which is the strongest of the lot. And then they did 1.6 petrol, and earlier ones also could be had with a 1.8 petrol. So yeah, plenty of choice out there. So we couldn't come to what seems to have been dubbed the Berlingo Fest without having a chat with Mr. Berlingo, James Walshe.
Hello.
Of Practical Classics. King Berlingo, sorry.
I don't know how that's happened, given that I had CXs for years. I'm not sure. It's probably more appealing to be Mr. CX, isn't it?
Is
Mr.
it not
Berlingo.
a tag you were looking for?
Not really. I wasn't really looking for that title, but that's fine. Okay.
But you do so much to champion these vehicles, obviously through the magazine Practical Classics,
Yeah.
but also increasingly in the world of Twitter and everything as well.
I think it's a car worth celebrating. You know,
Okay.
I think they're 25 years old now, so they're celebrating a quarter of a century. And if you talk to anybody here, now this is the first gathering we've ever had
Yeah.
for the Berlingo and Peugeot Partner, and you talk to everybody here and they've got this amazing story
Yeah.
about their car. The car is almost immaterial, but the fact that when you get into it and you start talking to them about their cars, they've got a story as to why they've got a Berlingo and what they do with it. They'll throw a washing machine in the back, or their family, and they'll go on holiday, or they'll sleep in it, or go on holidays.
Yeah,
and
so many
adventures.
very different camper conversions. Everyone's taken their own put their own little spin on their cars as well. It's great to see. It just reminds me so much of the world of 2CVs, frankly.
And that's the parallel for me. I love 2CVs, and I've got a 2CV. We've got a Diane in the family, and they're just so brilliant because they're cheap to run, they're practical, they do absolutely everything. And guess what? That's what the Berlingo is designed to do.
Oh,
they
so
won't-
are you saying the Berlingo is a practical classic?
It is. And you know, my colleagues were taking the mickey out of me for so long about my love for these vans, but they've realised, actually seeing how useful they are when we do photo shoots, and they've seen the enthusiasm from the readers as well. That they realise everybody at some point has had some sort of experience with this little French van.
So there you go.
And as I say, this is a first. We've never done this before. This is our first event. No idea if we're going to do any more, but hey, I think we should on the basis of this, right?
Yeah, it's been so popular today.
been
So
brilliant.
yeah, thank you very much for organising it, and thanks for inviting us along. It's
Been
been
good
lovely.
to see you. Been good to see you. And
Thank
I
you
hope
very
you're not
much.
too damp after last night. We had a bit of a damp.
We'll dry out.
camping
It's
adventure.
fine. Yeah,
All right.
Berlingo camping was a soggy affair, but fun nonetheless. Thank you. It's time to go at the Berlingo meet. The ones with early Berlingos are enjoying their full-length sunshine roofs. But yeah, it's been a really good day. We've got Betty all hooked up, ready to go again. And yeah, here we go. So I hope you've enjoyed that video. Don't forget you can head to the Hubnut store and buy lovely merchandise. And we'll see you in a future video. Farewell.